to share tonight is that we are here for you. We understand that there are going to be these changes that you may not be used to if you've sold popcorn before or if you've done this before. We have a really excellent group of people who are here to support you. We have Stephen, we have Tori, we have myself, we have Holly Rogers in the office. We have people here for you. We also have a committee whose goal is to make sure that this popcorn season goes very well for you. And if you have issues, please reach out. If you need something, we're going to make sure that you get that. This is what we're going to be going over this evening. We're going to have some information about the different parts of the sale. And of course, if we're missing something or if you think of something different or beyond this, be sure to ask your questions and we'll do our best to help you. I want you to keep in mind though that this has come to us a little bit later than we normally get it because of the changes that Trails End had to make as well. And we finally have a really good set here, and we're hoping that you guys will have fun doing popcorn this year. The biggest thing with popcorn that most of you already know, because this is why you're doing what you're doing, being a Kernel, getting involved in popcorn, we're selling it for the Scouts. But I also want you to know that we're selling it for the families too, because this is a way that we can help families who need that extra little bit to help them pay for that registration or to help them pay for camp. And so if we can provide that opportunity for these families, that's what we want to do. Not only are we going to help these families, but when I go back to what the Scouts are doing, it's very important that we remember that it's not just about selling popcorn, it's about supporting the program, but it's also teaching the Scouts good skills. So we want to make sure that they are able to get those. And if they don't have these opportunities, if the unit's not selling, they're not going to have that opportunity to get these skills. This is really, really important, this part that you see on the screen, the $500. Obviously, the units need programming funds to cover awards, supplies, helping out with trips, that sort of thing. But keeping in mind that there have been changes with membership fees and just this has been a really crazy year for everyone. Some families may have been out of work. It's really important that we give the opportunity for the Scouts to be able to kind of pay their own way. And thinking about the number 500, if Scouts can reach $500 in sales, as you can see, if you reach the 35% commission, which I will go over in a little while, that's $175. And with the cost of the membership at $93, that leaves $82 for programming for the unit. And then beyond that, it can make more money for the unit or even help out with camp costs. So those are some ways that you can help your families out. So if you're not a big part of making those decisions, make sure you bring that up at your committee meetings because the unit has to decide that. We don't decide that for the units. The unit decides how to use the money from the sales. But this is something that's really important, especially for this year. So let's really try to push that 500 and get those kids' registrations paid for, and it eases the strain on some of the families. Now, before I move on, does anybody have any questions? Okay, and again, we'll have opportunities at the end too, if you think of something later. Well, I'm sure you all know why we're making changes to the sale. Some of the changes we had no choice in. They're just things that are not able to be put together. For example, Trails End getting access to the packaging for their products has inhibited some of the ways that we can sell. And also just in making sure that we keep our Scouts safe and just in the general way that COVID has affected life at this point. So we've had to change our scheduling. The products have been changed a little bit, and we have a different way of selling, but I hope you can see by the end of this that you're gonna love the way we've got this set up. The take order items I have listed there for you. You can see that it's a little bit smaller of a lineup, and some of the products have changed. You can see that Unbelievable Butter is in a bag and not in a box, and that is one of the reasons why I had listed before, is that Trails End cannot get the access to their packaging materials like they could in the past. But there is a way, if you're really addicted to that Unbelievable Butter popped, you can see that you can get that online, and it has to be done in smaller amounts. So this is what's called online direct. These are the products. As you can see, you can get all the products that you can do take order, plus a few more on the online direct. And this is going to be helpful for kids when they're going out and doing some take order. There's going to be a little bit more access to these products, and I'll go over some of the ways that this is going to help later. Any questions about the products, why we have them the way that we do? All right. As you can see, I'm trying to keep this moving pretty quickly, so that way when we do come up to some really deeper other conversations, I guess, that we have a little bit more time to go over them. I want to make sure that you guys are really comfortable with the way that our council's popcorn sale is going to go. The types of sales are the online direct, the take order, and the show and sell. You'll see here throughout this entire presentation that we're pushing the online direct, and there are several reasons why. Now, with the online direct, it's going to be a benefit to your scout, or your scouts. It's going to be a benefit to the families. It's going to be a benefit to you. It's going to save a lot of time and effort, and most of the work is going to be done for you. So some of the things, I'm just going to make sure, I want to check my notes just to make sure I don't forget anything, but again, it's the best way to sell. It's safest, meaning your scouts do not have to go and meet with other people to sell it. It's easy enough to go online. Most people are on social media, so reaching out to family members, friends, you can reach out to a large number of people all at once by using the online direct. So you can, I mean, if you really push, you can probably get your sales done in one weekend. Now that's convenient. The next part is really exciting for the scouts, because with the online direct, and you'll see more of this coming up, the scouts are going to be earning points this year. It's not equal in all of the sales. So online direct orders are going to earn double points, more than show and sell or take order. I'm going to explain more about that, so don't worry too much about that yet, but I did want to add that the online direct is going to be the biggest bang for the scouts' buck, and for the consumers too, because it's going to help out the scouts. There's no deliveries on our part, on your part, on the scouts' part. It's all being done by Trails End, direct order, and sending to the families who are ordering it, which means that we're not touching the popcorn. Again, the safety is nice there. It also saves time. You're not going door to door. You're not spending time at a booth. If you guys have really good access to the social media, I know not every family does. That's why there are other options, but it is going to be the easiest way. Also, the larger variety of products, like I showed you earlier, there's more to choose from, which also helps in sales. And there are some perks throughout the year. We don't know exactly which dates yet, but as you can imagine, online direct does have shipping costs associated with it. It's $7.99 for the first item and 99 cents per additional item. Already this year, Trails End has had a long weekend with free shipping. So those who took advantage of starting the sale on July 1st, they were able to sell to family and friends or whoever purchased from them, and they had no shipping costs associated with that. At this point, Trails End will most likely be doing that again. We do not know which weekends, but we are going to push that information out. It's not going to be hidden. We will put it in all different ways of communication so you know this, and you can get your scouts ready to be able to sell on those weekends. The take order, if you've already done this before, you know that it's usually going either door to door or mom and dad or whoever bringing it to work and getting people to fill out the order form. This is still available. And one thing that you can do with the take order is to utilize the credit card system on there, or believe it or not, the online direct. So you can go to someone's door and you can send them a link. They click on the link and then they order online direct. You don't have to deliver. So it's a kind of a combination of both. You're not delivering anything. And I say you, but I mean like the whole scouting community. All right, so then there's the show and sell. Now this is going to be a little bit different this year, and you'll see why further down during the presentation. This is the toughest this year due to the situation that we're in with COVID-19. I can tell you right now that there are, at this moment, no storefronts open for selling show and sell. So this would be a little bit more difficult for people to do. Which is why we've changed our sale a little bit, and I'm going to move on from here in just a moment so you can see how we've switched it. But before I do that, I want to see if anybody has any questions. Okay, I do want to add a couple more things about the show and sell. We are hoping that this will be an option for the scouts later on in the season. And so we will be switching our schedule a little bit, and maybe we'll get lucky, but at this point it's not going to happen very well. All right. Also with the show and sell, this year, due to the situation at hand, the COVID-19, with the show and sell, once you make that order for the show and sell, you will have to keep all of the inventory that's left over when you're done selling it. Unfortunately, this year we will not be able to take any of that back, but with the way that we have this set up, you're going to have a better idea about how much popcorn you need to sell, because the show and sell is going to be at the end of the sale instead of in the beginning of the sale. So you'll be able to see how well your scouts have sold, and you'll know better about if you need to order any or not, and then how much you need to sell. If you do end up doing the show and sell, we are going to have the show and sell product available before the holidays, so you'll be able to have that to bring to, if you go to Thanksgiving dinners or during the holidays, you'll be able to sell it during those times and be able to hand it out as well. All right.
I have a question.
Oh, so go ahead.
You're telling us kids show something we normally do from the end of August, beginning of September, up until October. So now it'll be after we're done the popcorn sales until November or December, or how does that work?
Yes, you're absolutely right. And in just a few moments, I'm going to go over the schedule with you so you'll have a better idea, but that is exactly what's going to happen. We're not going to be doing the show and sell in the beginning.
Okay. That's what I was wondering, because our kids look forward to the show and sell. So we're trying to figure out how it's going. When you said it, I was a little confused.
Yes, and we understand that too. We know that the kids really like getting out there and seeing people, and actually the customers like to see the Scouts. They really like to see them in their uniform, and it gets them excited too. And unfortunately, with the stores being as precautious as they are, we are not able to do any of the fronts at this time.
Won't that be too cold for some of the Scouts that time of year when it gets colder?
Well,
in November,
we're trying to do it a little bit earlier so that way it's not really cold. And when I go over the schedule, you'll see how we've moved the normal time frame earlier.
Okay.
Yep.
That helps.
All right, with the point system and the rewards, it's a little bit exciting for this year because with the point system, like I said earlier, there are different amounts of points per different type of sale. For the online direct, where you're not doing anything but sharing the information and maybe talking to some family members, and they go online and they order, the Scouts earn 2 points for every $1 sold. So that's double the amount of awards for them. Then every credit card or debit card order, whether it's show and sell or whether it's take order, that is going to be 1.5 points. Part of the reason why they're doing that, Trails End is doing that, is to help eliminate the handling of cash. Just to be safe, we're taking as many precautions as possible, and so is Trails End. And then cash is going to be 1 point per dollar sold. So Trails End's, our back end system will put all of this together, but you'll be able to see with the app, which I'll talk about in a little while, that that's also going to be helpful. Also with the sale this year, they've increased the number of awards that the Scouts can receive, so there's less of a gap between the amounts to get to the next level. We want to make sure that the Scouts can get as much as their goal is set for and make it attainable for them. Any questions about this part? As last year, we had the Amazon gift cards as the awards, and that is going to stay the same. We'll talk a little bit more about that system and how to do that a little bit further down. As you can see, this is the new schedule. We have, right now, the popcorn system is open. Online direct can be used right now. So if you are ready to go, you get your Scouts signed up, they can start selling starting July 1st, actually. So they can go for it, and they can do this all the way to the end of the year, all the way to December 31st. So it doesn't have to stop when we say our popcorn sale stops. Also, you'll see that we do have trainings going right through, and so whenever you have the availability, you will need to take a training. I'll show you a little bit about that in a little while. We have the early online direct sale that goes through August 15th. And so what that means is that any units that is participating in this early online direct, they will receive a gift card to Amazon for 5% of the orders collected during that time. So if your Scouts are ready to go for it. That will give you some additional funding to be able to purchase some items on Amazon for supplies or other things. The regular online direct sale goes from August 16th to December 31st. That, again, goes right through the end. You don't have to stop with that when we have our regular sale completed. The take order sale is going to go from August 16th. I do have to fix one number on here. I just had to change a date and I missed one. It's going to go from August 16th to October 2nd. And why we're doing this is to allow for your Scouts to be able to do the show and sell if you need them to or if they would like to. So we're moving everything a little bit earlier, and that's also going to make our distribution a little bit earlier. So instead of doing your distribution in November when you're freezing and you have to stand out there and you're cold, you're going to be able to do the distribution in October instead. And at that time, that is going to be our only distribution for the year. At that time, you're going to pick up your take orders, and you will have already placed your show and sell orders at the same time as your take order, and you'll be able to take all of it during that one distribution. So you do not need to pick up more than once. And then you'll see on here, it also gives payment due dates. And as in the last few years, we are expecting payment at the time of your pickup, but we do have a little bit of a difference in payment for your show and sell. There is a little bit of gap in time, so you have time to sell some of your show and sell before you have to pay for that. And before, you'll see on November 24th, before Black Friday and all of the holidays where all of the merchandise is sold at cheaper prices, we're going to make sure that your scouts get their Amazon gift cards. We want to make sure that they can take advantage of those sales just like we want to take advantage of those sales. So we're going to make sure that all of those cards are mailed out, which is going to be emailed, by the way, keeping in mind that the unit does have to have their payment in before we are allowed to release those. So if there's an issue, you need to make sure that that is done, and then we can release those. And as soon as that payment's in, it's being released. All right, and in December, we will have the $1,000 club. And at this time, I'm not going to be able to give 100% of the details for that. I will go over a little bit more of that soon, though. Any questions on the schedule before I move on? Okay. Now we're on to the commission. This is pretty standard across many of the councils, and some, for those of you who have done this before, this is pretty standard with us. You will automatically, and I think I have a typo in here, receive 30%. And you will receive an additional 5%. So please, I see my typo there. I thought I had it correct. It should say 30%. Every unit receives 30%. When you reach all of your additional goals, which there are only 3, you will receive the additional 5%. So one of them is that you're going to use the app to do your processing of your sale. For example, you're going to use it to put your scouts in the system. You're going to use it to keep track of your sale, and that will be 1/3 of your bonus. You're going to take the Trails End training. I will show you where that is and what that is. It's not very long, but it's informative, and I think all of you will actually get a lot out of it because the app is different this year. And the third part is to make an on-time payment. With those 3 things, you will receive the additional 5%, and that is what we would like all of the units to receive. Any questions about that? Okay.
There's a couple of questions in the chat.
Okay.
There's one of asking if those steps are just for take order or also for online.
Those steps.
To get the extra 5%.
The whole sale needs to be completed. All of your tracking, all of your inputting of your scouts, all of that needs to be put in the app.
Yeah, but the online direct from Trails In, that's a set 35%, right?
Yes. Oh, gotcha. Okay, now I understand your question. Whether or not your unit earns 35% on the regular sales, all online sales, online direct sales will be at 35%. So that's another pro to using the online direct, is that you automatically receive the extra 5% there.
Now, we have a question. Do the parents of the scouts have to put them in online, or can we as committee chair and leader and den master put them in? Do the computer, do they have to do it themselves, or can we put it in for them? Because normally we collect all their sheets, go through it, Pat takes them and puts them all in online for all of our sales. You know, I mean, we have kids that are autistic that want to know a thing or two about what they needed to do to put online things. We have, what, three autistic children right now in our pack. And one ADHD and something else. I don't remember what it is. And there's no way their mother would understand for them to show them how to do it, to put onto a computer, to do their sales, to record them.
Okay. There are going to be take order forms, so you will be able to utilize those. We will have those shortly. We're just waiting for Trails End to send us that form. And so that is still able to be used. And then the sales from that can be input from an adult.
Okay, so like the kids won't have to do it. They can do it to like the leaders.
Trouble with that last year.
No, and that app,
last year.
the app also, if they're doing the take order, they can use the app to do the sales, but they do not have to count towards that 5%. What we're talking about with the additional 5% is that the kernel, the popcorn kernel for the unit, is utilizing that to take care of their scouts and input their names. When you do those things and you put your scouts in there, we're able to track their awards. So if you do not do that part, it makes it very difficult for your scouts to get those awards.
We did that last year. Pat took all the sheets, put all the orders in for the scouts that sold, and we still
Then they
were.
wanted their regular email address.
Yeah, and then they wanted it in their regular email address from their parents. So we took and never got our Amazon cards or rewards. Our kids look forward to the prizes and the rewards, not cards. So we went out of pocket and we bought kids' prizes for them out of our money.
I think what we should do is, I would love to have a conversation with you guys just to make sure that we're on the same page and to see what happened with you guys last year and see how we can help make that better.
Yes, definitely, because right now we're undeciding about popcorn because we're confused and stuff and just the way it sounds. And if our kids are gonna pretty much get screwed over again next year, they're not gonna wanna sell. No kid wants, oh, well, here's an Amazon card, go. Not all of them have a computer or anything, you know, and we were so late getting them. When did we get them? March? It was awful. It was just horrible.
We will have them out. Now, see, this is where I'm going to go back to what I said earlier about making sure that all of your information is in after the sale. All of your part is done. We will be able to release those Amazon gift cards before Black Friday. So if we need to help you with that, we will most certainly do that. We have the support here to make sure that you guys get what you need.
Yeah, because this past year, we never even got the kids' Amazon cards or anything until March or April. And by then, COVID has started, so what do? You know?
I think that might have been, I don't know because I wasn't involved in that, but I don't think that's usual. I don't think any other units dealt with that. So like I said, I'll be more than happy to work with you and make sure that you guys get what you need.
Okay.
All right.
What if you can't get on the app?
Then we'll help you with getting you on there, whether it's Trails
Okay.
End helping you get on there or us, we're gonna make sure that you can get on the app.
Okay.
And they have improved it this year. They have done a lot of work with it to make it more user-friendly and visually appealing for both the adults and the kids. It's easier to follow. I think that you're gonna enjoy it once you get in there.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Well, I'm gonna go back here. All right. Many of you have been popcorn kernels in the past, And so you understand what the club is. And this year we're lowering the requirement to get into the club. It's now $1,000. We understand that it's a little bit harder this year than it may have been in the past, so we want to make sure that your scouts are going to get there. But it's really a cool place to be because there are more funds for them to be able to go to camp or to pay for registrations or that sort of thing, but also in their earnings for their awards. If you'll look at the screen, you'll see that scouts will have earned between $40 and $80 in Amazon rewards. But that also shows you why the direct sales are so cool, because at $40, that's take order. $80 is if they're selling online direct. So there's quite a bit of a difference there. So I'm just going to push you to do those online direct sales. It's going to help those youth gain more awards. Also, every scout that reaches that $1,000 club will be invited to an event in December. It is going to be a movie at a selected theater. If, with COVID, that is going to be allowed. We do have an alternative way that we're going to work with this. It's not 100% right now because every day this changes for us, so we won't be able to make the final decision on that until we get closer to December. But that is what we have for the scouts who reach this program, the $1,000 club. And we have more prizes in addition for some of our top sellers. So those are some of the things that the scouts can look forward to in the $1,000 club. I hope all of you enjoy our patch for this year. This is just off of the computer. We just got the image for you guys. We tried to make it a memorable patch to commemorate the very interesting times that we're in right now. And I think that your scouts will enjoy this, and we hope that you do too. And every scout who sells at least one item will get the patch. Any questions about any of that before I move on? All right. This is the part that we need for you guys in order to be eligible for your extra 5% to take care of. This is the webinars that the Trails End company has put together for the kernels and actually anyone who wants to learn more about this system and how the system will work. This is very accessible. I'm going to show you. You just go to their website and we will have this information available to you. Just running a little slow here. I've got a lot of processes going on. Oh, it's coming. All right. So this is the page that shows the webinars. And I'm going to scroll down a little bit because I want you to be able to see.
You're not sharing that at the moment.
Oh, I wonder. It says I'm screen sharing still. So that's odd.
It's just on the PowerPoint.
You can stop to share that and then she'll be able to pick up the other one to share it.
Okay. So let me see if I can leave that open. Sorry about that, guys. Can you see it now? Oops. All right. It's not showing still? No. All right. Is it showing now?
We're just seeing the PowerPoint still.
That is odd. I made it go away. All right. All right. Well, hopefully you'll be able to see some of this. So I'm going to explain it. When you go to the Trails End website, you're going to go to the page for training, and it's called webinars. I'm going to bring up my PowerPoint again so I can see it while I'm talking to you. And what it has is different sessions. They're named specifically for popcorn kernel training or popcorn kernel training for units that sold over a certain amount of money or different levels. And then when you click on what you're going to train for, it will show you many, many dates and times that the webinars are being held. So there's plenty of opportunities for you to be able to go through and take one training. You can take as many as you'd like, but for the 5%, you will need to take at least one of those trainings. Trails End then sends us the information that you've taken the training, and then we'll be able to credit you for taking the training. I have seen the trainings, and I know Stephen has seen the trainings, and they're very, very informative. They go through the app, they talk about the app, you're able to ask questions. So if you're having trouble with the app, they are the experts. They can help you get through those, and they can guide you as to where to go in the app for the different parts. It's very, very informative. So that's why it's so important for us to have you take that training. It also talks about the rewards, and also in this training they will talk about some of the tried and true methods that have been done to help increase sales. All right, well, I was going to show you the TRC Popcorn website, but since it did not work for the website, even though it came up for me, I'm guessing that this is not going to pop up either. But I can tell you that you will get the information sent to you, so you'll have the links to both of these, so no worries. The TRC Popcorn website is open on our TRC website right now. It's trcscouting.org/popcorn.
Beth, did you want me to share the screen so you can, and I can scroll it down to show them?
If you can do that, that would be fantastic.
You guys seeing it?
Wonderful.
All right.
I do. Beautiful, Tori. Thank you so much.
Not a problem. So I will click on the read, and then I'll let you, and I'll scroll slowly so you can do your little commentary.
Okay, so if you look at the popcorn, oops.
Oh, wait a
Tori,
minute.
we lost you.
Hang on, let me go back. Can you see it now?
Yes.
All right, I was trying to move it over to the big monitor so it was bigger, and it's only screening the one. Sorry about that.
Yeah, I did that earlier. So if you could just scroll down just a little bit. All right. So if you can see this, that is great. The link that she's pointing to right now is a sign up page. All you have to do is click that. It will bring you right to the web page where you can sign your unit up for selling. Very quick and easy. The information is automatically put in and you're all set. The next one brings you to the Trails End app information on the Trails End website. So it goes through some of the information about the app and how to utilize that. The next one is the popcorn guide, which I'm hoping that many of you have already seen. If you haven't, this is excellent information because everything that I'm talking about right now is in that popcorn guide. So if you need a reference, you need to go back, you're not sure, it's going to be in this popcorn guide. Alrighty. The training is going to bring you to that webinar page. So it'll bring you right there. You won't have to find it. So if you want to go right to our trcscouting.org/popcorn page, you can get to the other parts right here. I need to move this. And then the last part where it says best practices, right now we have that connected to our Facebook page, our popcorn Facebook page. So that's going to give you a way to see some of the information that we're sharing. And if we find some really good tips and tricks from people, then we'll be able to post those there and you'll see those. All right. I'm going to share my screen again and go back to our PowerPoint. Are we back to my PowerPoint?
Yep, you're good.
Excellent. All right. I want to go over just a few more things with you and we will be done and ready for more questions. Some of you may be wondering about the card readers. Those are being sent out directly to the scouts from Trails End. It is going to be, actually, let's see here. The scouts are going to get those if they sold over $1,500 to $3,400. They're going to get the regular reader. And then if they have sold over $3,500 worth of popcorn, they're going to get the touchless reader. So that's a little bit nicer piece there. And you can purchase more of the readers on square.com, and all of the fees of the credit card sales will be paid by Trails End. So that's a nice bonus there. I did go over the fact that the order forms are on their way. It is going to be a digital copy, so you can print them out, or if you have trouble with that, we can certainly get those to you. So you just have to let us know if you need some. I also want to go over some communication that we are working on, and we want to know your thoughts. We would like to do a new, well, it's new to me, it's called Band. If any of you have ever used Remind, it is a text-based and email-based program where if we send out a message, it will go to everyone we want it to go to in our popcorn sale, and it would be like a quick text saying, free shipping this weekend, and that you would be able to keep up really quick with some of the information that we have. We're curious what you think about that, if you think that's going to be helpful, if you want us to do that. Also, we have email, of course, and our constant contact information that goes out, and our Facebook page dedicated to the popcorn sale. So at this point, I would like to hear from you what you think of these, if you're interested in Band, please let me know so we know to move forward with this. All right, I don't know if anybody's interested in Band, but we will continue to send out communications throughout emails and on Facebook. And if you have any other suggestions for us for communication, that is key for us, that you get the information that you need and you're not behind, and we can help give you those reminders. So please send us an email for if you have any ideas. We are here. We're on it, and we want to hear from you. All right. Let me make sure that I did not forget anything here. And I do want to go back. The free readers are from $1,000 to $34.99, not $1,500. So if your scout sold over $1,000, he or she will receive the free credit card processing Square unit. All right. I know we covered quite a bit of information here. I'm wondering if you have any additional questions. If it's specific to your unit and you think it might be helpful to everybody else, please ask it now so everybody can hear. But if it's specific, like really direct to your unit, please feel free to give us a call, email us. We want to make sure that you have everything that you need.
Hey, Beth, I have a couple of questions from the chat here for you.
Oh, perfect.
Someone's want to know if, since our scout doesn't have access to email or social media, so would it be up to them to send any popcorn online direct information on their behalf? Just wants to know if that's correct or not.
You want to answer that?
I would say yes, that is correct from the Trails and Training.
From what, if I'm hearing the question correct, I believe that is correct as well.
Yeah, using the parents' email or,
Yes,
Yeah.
and then when you sign up on the app, it asks if you are a scout or if you are a parent. So you can have two different kinds of accounts on there because they're going to give the safety aspect, keep the safety aspect on there. So that's where the scouts are able to utilize it, but then the parents can also go on there. And one more thing I do want to add, speaking about parents, if, for example, your scouts are going out doing take order and they collect cash, even though we're really pushing for the credit cards, there's a new way that on the app where the parent, instead of having to bring the cash over to somebody, can keep that cash and pay the bill for their scouts popcorn sales with your own credit card. So it saves you a trip, it saves you from having to go see someone. That is an option this year, whether you need it or not, that's fine, but I did want to let everybody know that that is an option this year. Any of you, did you say that you have more questions on
yeah, Lee would like to have you go over the $500 thing you mentioned at the beginning.
Sure, let me actually go back. Okay. The $500, we utilize that number for the purposes of making it easy for the families to set a goal. Obviously, a really great goal would be $1,000 or more, because the more your scout sells, the more that they earn. It also helps out the units. It helps out our council. Everybody wins with that. However, looking at the $500 as a goal, I'm hoping that every unit will reach the 35% commission. We've made it really attainable. And also, again, using that online direct, you'll get that 35% commission on all of those sales anyway. So at $500 in sales, in popcorn sales, that brings in a commission of $175. So if your unit wants to adopt this system, that would mean that the unit would utilize $82 of those funds to keep the unit going. I know a lot of units utilize the popcorn sale as their only fundraiser. Some of them use it as their big fundraiser. That's the way scout units earn the money to be able to offer the program to the scouts. So obviously the pack or the troop or the ventures, they need those funds to be able to run. However, they don't always need the $175. Each unit should come up with a budget of how much per scout is needed for the program to run. As an example, it's usually between $85 and $130, depending on what your unit does. So that would usually pay for extra things even. It's in awards, supplies, maybe a trip, those sort of things. So especially in a year with COVID, maybe your unit is not going and doing quite as many things, so maybe they only need $82 for awards and supplies, that sort of thing. And they can choose, your unit has to choose to do this. So if you want this, talk to your committee, that they can utilize the rest of the commission to help offset the costs of the registration. So whether it's the full registration of $93 or the unit chooses to give a portion, maybe $50, any amount that your unit wants to do will help the families. So if you think about it this way, and your unit participates with this, not only is your scout benefiting by getting awards, but we're also affecting the families' wallets. That is a huge deal for some families. And of course, you know, there are many families out there who have more than one scout. So this is a great way for the units to help out and, you know, either eliminate that cost altogether for their families or to offset it. I hope I answered your, you know, made it a little bit more clear, but if you have a specific question and you want to ask. Okay. Any more, Stephen?
Let me take a look. Someone put out a helpful thing on Square Readers that they're cheaper on Amazon.
Ooh, that is a cool tip. I did not know that.
There's another question. In order to get the 5% additional commission, leaders have to use the app specifically or just complete all tracking orders through the site? I would say just complete all tracking orders through the site and make sure your scouts are on the site so that their prizes are getting accounted for correctly.
Our goal with that is to make sure that none of the scouts are left out, that all of the scouts are in the system, and that they get everything that's owed to them in a timely manner. So I feel bad for the unit who had such trouble. So I will be, you know, I'm more than happy to help make sure that everything goes well for them. But in this capacity, this should eliminate any of your issues, is to make sure your information with all of your scout selling is in the system. Any others, Stephen?
Nope, that's all of them.
All right. Well, I would like to thank all of you for getting on here tonight, spending your time with us. I hope that I was able to give you a lot of helpful information and maybe help guide you to the direction that you want to go for your sale. If you have questions, please know we have a full team this year of people helping out with the popcorn sale. And so you can start with Holly, me, and Stephen for contacting if you need anything. And I can tell you that our contact information is in the program guide, or the popcorn program guide that's on our website. And we also emailed it out or put it in the latest email. But worst case scenario, we are in the office on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, staff only. So if you need to contact us by phone, we are there during those days.
We have a quick question on the card readers. Now, you say for over the $1,000, the scouts are getting a card reader for the credit card. Does that pertain to last year's sales too, or just this year's coming? My son sold what, almost 3,000 last year. So we're trying to figure it out if it's going off last year's sales, or if they have to do another 2,000-3,000 just to get one for this year's sales.
No. They're actually being sent out soon if they haven't been already. It's based on last year's sales. So if your scout sold almost $3,000, your scout is definitely going to get one.
Okay.
Those are coming directly from Trails End to the scout. So.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. That was a great question. Well, I think that's it for tonight. Again, if you have other questions, I know sometimes things will pop up later on. Just reach out to us. We want you to have the best sale ever that you can possibly have during COVID. We're really excited about it. We want you to be excited about it. The more excitement you have, I can guarantee the more excitement that your scouts will have and the more sales you will help your scouts earn from. So
just one last thing, Beth, is a great little tip from Alicia in the chat. It says when you update the app for scouts, it will prompt you to collect the reader and verify the shipping address. So
oh, that's a good one too.
Thank you, Alicia.
You guys have been amazing. I appreciate all the great questions you guys have asked. And again, I hope this was informative for all of you. Have a great night. Enjoy the rest of it. And I hope to see all your wonderful sales.